Hello, curious minds. Today, I am going to tell you one of the most impressive and courageous stories in the history of journalism. In 1889, a young and adventurous journalist named Nellie Bly, inspired by Jules Verne's famous novel Around the World in 80 Days, decided to travel around the world in 80 days. However, Nellie Bly completed this epic journey in an incredible 72 days, making history. The year 1889 marked a turning point in the world of journalism. Elizabeth Jane Cochran, better known as Nellie Bly, was a daring journalist working for the New York World newspaper. Inspired by Jules Verne's novel Around the World in 80 Days, Nellie proposed an audacious plan. She would attempt this epic journey in real life. In Verne's novel, Phileas Fogg manages to travel around the world in 80 days, and Bly wanted to achieve the same adventure in an even shorter time. At the time, the idea of a woman embarking on such an endeavor was met with skepticism, but Nellie Bly was determined to challenge these prejudices. Initially, Nellie Bly's editor was hesitant about the proposal. However, her determination and the potential publicity for the newspaper convinced them to approve the plan. During the preparation phase, Bly packed a small suitcase with minimal necessities she would need during her journey. She also secured the necessary visas and permissions for the various countries she planned to visit. This meticulous preparation showcased Bly's serious approach and organizational skills. Before her departure, an article was published in the newspaper announcing Bly's intentions, which drew public attention and excitement. On the morning of November 14, 1889, Nellie Bly boarded the Hamburg America Line steamship Augusta Victoria, departing from New York amidst the cheers of a gathered crowd. Her first stop was England. Upon arrival in England, Bly was welcomed by a large crowd and the press, reflecting her growing fame. She spent a brief time in London, exploring the city's historical and cultural heritage. After England, Bly traveled to France. Here, she briefly stayed in Paris and visited the famous Eiffel Tower. Paris's rich cultural and historical heritage added more excitement to her journey. She then traveled by train from France to Brindisi, Italy. During this journey, Nellie Bly conducted interviews with European journalists, sharing her story and gathering new tales. Brindisi was a crucial connection point for her passage through the Mediterranean towards Asia. Upon reaching Brindisi, Italy, Nellie Bly quickly boarded another ship and sailed through the Mediterranean towards the Suez Canal. Crossing the Suez Canal was both an exciting and strategic part of her journey. While navigating the canal, she had the opportunity to observe Egypt's historical richness and recorded these experiences in her journal. The passage through the Suez Canal offered her glimpses of exotic landscapes and diverse cultural influences along Africa's northeastern coast. This region was historically significant as a trade route, and Nellie Bly made short stops in these historic locations, interacting with the local population. After passing through the Suez Canal, Bly's next stop was Ceylon, modern-day Sri Lanka. She made a brief stop in Ceylon, interacting with the locals and exploring the exotic culture of the region. The natural beauty and tea plantations of Ceylon particularly fascinated Bly. From there, she traveled to India, where she delved deeper into the history and culture of this part of the world. In India, she visited local markets and historical monuments, enriching her journey with new experiences. The vibrant markets, historical structures, and rich cultural heritage of India made her travel experience unforgettable. Hong Kong was a significant milestone for Nellie Bly's journey. In this cosmopolitan city, she experienced a blend of Eastern and Western cultures and met various interesting people. During her stay in Hong Kong, she explored the bustling markets and traditional festivals, adding more stories to her collection. Hong Kong served as both a cultural exploration and a resting point for her. During this period, she also conducted interviews with local journalists, continuing to share her adventure with the world. After Hong Kong, Nellie Bly traveled to Japan. During her time in Japan, she immersed herself in the country's rich cultural heritage and traditions. She visited cities like Kyoto and Tokyo, experiencing Japanese tea ceremonies and traditional arts. The samurai culture and traditional architecture particularly fascinated Bly. The hospitality and cultural richness of the Japanese people made her journey even more enjoyable. In Japan, she also visited local markets and sampled various foods. Here, she bought a monkey, adding a new companion to her journey. Leaving Japan, Nellie Bly embarked on a long voyage across the Pacific Ocean back to America. During this ocean journey, she conversed with fellow passengers, gathering new stories and writing about her experiences. The vast blue waters of the Pacific Ocean provided one of the most challenging and thrilling parts of her adventure. Bly faced various weather conditions during the sea voyage, overcoming these challenges to continue her journey. During her time on the ship, she met new people and listened to their stories. On January 25, 1890, Nellie Bly returned to Jersey City. She had completed her incredible journey around the world in precisely 72 days, 6 hours, 11 minutes, and 14 seconds. A large crowd and the press welcomed her back with great enthusiasm. Her accomplishment was celebrated not only in New York, but around the world. Bly's determination, courage, and adventurous spirit served as an inspiration to many. During this period, her success made headlines in various newspapers, creating a worldwide sensation. After her journey, Bly gave talks about her experiences, continuing to inspire people with her story. Nellie Bly's historic journey became an iconic achievement in journalism history. She documented her adventures and challenges in a book titled Around the World in 72 Days, which inspired many readers. Her success also contributed to the revaluation of women's roles in society and recognition of their abilities. Bly's story became a source of inspiration for many who wanted to follow their dreams, showing the courage and determination she exemplified.